Hi, this is Stan. Welcome back to the Crow's Nest Railroad. We're out of the shop and on the road again today at the Arizona Railway Museum. We'll be here all day, tons of train stuff to look at. Hope you can join us. So here's our table set up. I'm here to help the Maricopa Live Steamers promote our railway today. And we've already had a chance to meet some great folks, train enthusiasts, and I want to show you some of the sights and sounds as well today. Here you can see the kids can climb up on 2562 and actually work the air horn. It's fantastic.
If you're going to take lots of pictures, you may as well get a picture of the firebox too while you're...
Oh yeah, look at that. There's the firebox in there.
In the far end of it, this is an oil burner, so that far end is the nozzle that the oil squirts out of.
Oh, yeah.
You could put a whole family down in there.
Practically. Keeps them warm in winter. Bell over here.
Fantastic. And there's your main throttle there, right?
Yep. That's the throttle. This is the reverser. Forward, reverse, main brake.
Whoop, let me get a shot of the main brake.
Train brake for all the cars. Missing from here is a slightly smaller version of this. That's the independent brake that's just for the locomotive. You rarely use the locomotive brake unless you're in the yard or something with no cars, because it's a lot more work to replace brake shoes on the locomotive than it is to replace them on the cars. So you would almost never use these kind of brakes to slow a train down. And it's the same on the diesels. You know, most of the diesels today, they have dynamic braking, which is just reverse electricity generating heat. They're just blowing it out to the grids. They're not really using the brakes on the locomotive as, you know, it's not brakes like brake shoes, because it would just wear them out. They wouldn't last any time at all.
This is Bob. Those of you who watch the Crow's Nest Railroad channel, you're familiar with him.
Yes.
I'm Stan. We're going to do a walk around here, and when we turn around here, Bob, this is a view that you don't normally get on a large locomotive, so let's take a look at it. It's awesome to be in front of a big machine on here. What are we looking at here, Bob?
This is electromotive products from Union Pacific. They are parked here today because the Union Pacific wanted someplace to put the locomotives that are daily in service, and the park offered they could park them here for one night and then they could go back into service on Monday. So that's why they're sitting here. These are real operational locomotives. They are not part of the museum fleet. They are the real deal.
It looks like folks can just climb in there and hopefully not start it up.
Well, let's see if they do. We can go in as well.
This is an operational piece of gear here. So.
Yes. Throttle. This is the air brake, locomotive brake, locomotive brake, train brake, I think. That's the
It says dynamic brake.
dynamic brake feature, and then that's the throttle with the big lever. So you've got all sorts of control air gauges here for brake systems, and of course the radio communications and the speed recorder, which keeps track of all the stuff going on.
Oh, wow.
And in the meantime, we've got all the other pieces parts here.
Here's a look out through the cab. I tell you, it's hard to get far enough away from this locomotive to capture it on my camera here. This is why people love trains so much. They are massive and huge, and you really get a sense of the horsepower involved when you're up next to these trains. We're kind of at the north end of the Arizona Railway Museum here, which is kind of a long rectangle of track. And I'm going to do a slow spin around here. There's an E unit, some passenger Pullmans, and then we'll head back south. This was my first real image of trains. In other words, I grew up next to the Erie-Lackawanna Railroad, and so these E and F units that was the look of trains when I was a small kid.
Sure was.
So, what can you tell me about this type of motive
All
power?
right. Well, this is Electromotive Division's locomotive. It's called an E8. It contains 2 complete diesel locomotives and generator sets in the car body, which is why it's so much longer than the EMD F7. It also may have a steam generator at the back for heating of passenger cars. I can't tell from here if that's the case. So this is using EMD's 567 engines at the time. That was the cubic inch displacement, as they were called. And that's then using electric generator direct coupled to the engine. And then there's a couple of air compressors in there as well for providing train brake air pressure.
Okay, we're inside that E unit right now.
This is the main generator here. You've got 2 Roots blowers on a 567 EMD engine of this class. Roots blowers on this side, a duplicate Roots blower on the other side, providing scavenging air into the intake manifolds of the 567. We've got handhold covers here for inspecting the interior little frame. This engine uses insertable cylinders, so the entire cylinder and liner are slid into the bore of the frame of the engine, and that frame is on the outside, so you look inside with these handholds and you can see and reach into the connecting rods where this unit is connected to the main crankshaft, which runs at the bottom half of those handhold covers. We come over here to the water pumps at this end. We have the manual throttle operation here with this lever. If you start the engine up independently of the main control locomotive, you can get this to run that locomotive. This is the equipment rack here. We have an air compressor for compression of air for brake cylinders and operations of the locomotive air brake system. We have a strainer and filter here, and we have, once again, the second EMD 567 with its requisite pieces parts, as you see here. Once again, handhold covers in the midst of it.
Bob, are these run simultaneously or one at a time?
They were run simultaneously using individual generator and roots blowers that you see here. Generator down below. Once again, roots blowers up here.
All right, let's step up into the cab.
Yeah, I agree.
I used to eat lunch here. Cab of that sentence at Morrison Knudsen. I never thought I'd ever see the day when I look out against that window again. Oh my God. Yes.
Yes, that's the.
And once again, more primitive controls on the E's. We've got
It's a lot of heavy work.
train brake, locomotive brake, throttle leveler here. We've got dynamic braking features, and we've got radio control and speedometer at that point. We've also got engine control systems here, which includes the field generator switch, which makes the whole locomotive actually move.
And those are the sad windows. Those droopy windows are such an iconic look.
Yeah.
That is so awesome. Look at this little guy. What can you tell me about the little Plymouth here?
So, well, we have some stuff inside right here. Start out is in the Armed Forces, U.S. Air Force Base in Victorville, California. Served there until the 60s, and then I got tossed around by a few construction companies. Ended up here back in 1988. It was restored back in 2003. How it looks right now. Still has the original engine, which is a gasoline V8, 250 horsepower.
I have a small HO model of the Plymouth here. And
Oh, really?
It's a cool, cool look.
Yeah.
Bunch of speeders lined up. That's where our little display is parked. This is my little steam engine, not really a porter, but an 040 steamer. And right across from us is a much larger but exploded view of a little 040. There's the boiler and the firebox, some of the parts. Here's a look on the inside. Look at how many of those tubes there are to transfer the heat energy. And here's the chassis and the engine. You can see those eccentrics in there. See how the drivers look really large compared to the gauge of the locomotive. And here are the cylinders. No pistons that I can see.
I guess so.
Dad, you want to blow the whistle on the
Hi, this is Stan. Well, I'm going to have to say so long. It's been a full day here at the Arizona Railway Museum. Hope you've enjoyed some of the random footage that I was able to capture while here. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you right here next time on the Crow's Nest Railroad.